Yes.
Good evening, one and all.
It has begun.
Yes, it has begun.
Sound check, 1, 2. Let us know how we sounding. And as we proceed, Burn Team family.
Inside, it's a real talk cherry on you.
Well, this is the battle of the sexes.
We learn, yes.
Yes, Sherry, tell us how we sounding. Are you hearing everything? And as we go forward, right, as we move forward in this battle of the sexes, a horn is a horn.
Yes.
So this is basic unconventional raw nutrition again.
Yes, it is.
And if you are looking at this on Facebook, share this live wheel and just hit share so that the people will be able to be linked with us.
Yes.
Yes. Cool.
Yes.
So Burn Team today, the topic at hand, the battle, the war of the worlds. Horn in time.
I don't know if it's horn in time, but we're talking about horn today. Yes?
Yeah, and as time progresses, we will give you the definition. We have the Trinity Dictionary.
Yes, we do.
So in a short.
Yes, and we would like to wish everyone a happy Independence. In advance, we know that tomorrow is Independence Day in Trinidad and Tobago.
Well, whenever you watch it, it will not be. But greetings and salutations to all on the live. Big up Burn Team family. And as we warming up, tell your neighbor, tell your friend.
Yes. Tell everybody. Everybody.
Tell everybody.
The married, the unmarried.
Unmarried.
Yeah, the unmarried. Those who are in relationship but they are not married. Those who say they are not committed relationship or whatever it is they call it.
So single.
It's time to join.
Single, married, unmarried, take it or borrow.
Take on whatever it is.
Right? And we are going to touch on the age-old stress. I think this has been around as long as mankind has been around.
Yes.
Some people call it being unfaithful. Some people call it getting boot. Trini calls it getting horn.
Yes.
The Jamaicans call it bun.
Yes, and some people call it friends with benefits. Yes, Sherry. Yes.
Sherry,
yes.
I find you well versed in the lingo. So Sherry, I hope you're sharing this live on your page. And we want to welcome everybody, regardless of where you are, your nationality.
Welcome.
Right, so as we groove in, we chilling. This is Burn Team, and we really want to encourage good mental health, good emotional health.
Yes.
So, we do the artery intervention. We did went and train this morning. So, the people who was involved in the morning session, big up yourself.
Yes.
This Judge Joachim on the inside. So we welcoming people as we get to the nitty gritty.
A horn is a horn.
Chica, where's your view?
What is my view? Let's not. Yes.
This is going to be a very interesting scenario. Right, so get on board with it.
Get on board.
Right.
Where you want to start from? Right? First, let us start off with the definition of horn. right?
The
So,
definition of horn.
yes, the definition of horn.
Sherry, say what if you take it on?
Yes. So the definition of horn, according to the Oxford Dictionary.
Oxford, eh?
Right. So when you go into Google, right, and you type up horn, it will show that it's from West Indian. It will say that a horn is when someone is being unfaithful to their husband or wife. Hear the words carefully, yeah? It is when someone is being unfaithful to their husband or wife. West Indian definition.
So the good people at Oxford, understanding the lingua and the twang, they went as far as to explain horn as a West Indian word. So the Oxford Dictionary, the method of the situation is that a horn is when you are unfaithful to your husband or your wife. There are problems in this thing, isn't
Yeah. So now the Trinidadian dictionary, right?
Trinidadian.
Yes. So it is saying is when somebody, yesterday we talked about cheating,
Oh, Lord.
right? So in this definition said, it's when someone cheats on their spouse or lover, right? That is Trinidadian, Trini thing, Trinbagonian thing. When it cheats on your spouse or your lover. Now remember that in Trinidad and Tobago, even in the Caribbean, we have persons who are in common law relationships.
Yes.
So they may not have gone, and go through the full process of signing the paper. and
The
all
whole
that.
9 yards.
Yes,
You know?
but they live together. They decide that they are in a committed relationship, and some do last for a very long time. Yeah.
So, in correlation or relation to Oxford's explanation of what is a horn, Oxford Dictionary is saying a horn is when you are unfaithful to your wife and husband explicitly. And our Trinidad Dictionary goes as far as to say a horn is being unfaithful to people who are in common law relationships or just regular relationships. Right? So people feel free to place your comments in the comment section. What you believe a horn is, where you believe it starts from.
Yes.
If horn for you is the sexual act, if horn for you is time spent. So we want you guys now to get involved,
Yes.
and we want to hear your perspective on what horning, that is the doing word, the verb. What is horning in our vibration?
Yes.
Yes? So, we see people coming on the live. We want to welcome you. This is Burn Team, and we are getting involved in our emotional health, mental health, physical health, intellectual health. So, perspective from our Burn Team members.
Yes.
Big up Sherry, big up all on the live.
Yes. So people be just making sure that people get a reminder that on the inside for this hot topic today.
So Sherry is saying on the message board. So we're touching the message board.
Right. Let's see what Sherry is saying. So if a woman catches a man with another woman and decides to horn back a man, what is that? Sherry, but you tell us what you think that is. Yes? Because it's just a payback. You're in the relationship, right? And you just decide it's still end up being horn. So you catch him and horn and it's like, I decide here what, I ain't going through this horning thing. I go on from here. Or you decide, well, I'm going to stay and stick this out. But if you go now and do the same thing, and
Wendy, big up yourself.
Right, so Wendy, we're talking today, the topic is a horn, right? And we want to know what you all think, where you all think horning starts, right?
Yeah.
And how it affects their relationships, right? So what I think to do is no harm. Now we seeing the fellas coming on. I seen Alan. I seen the fellas coming
No.
on. So fellas.
Now all you know, I stand up for the soldiers on the team.
Yes, yes.
So again, we want a balance in our perspective, and we don't wanna push it on agenda like we saying men only or women only.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So again, what we want is you guys' perspective on what is a horn, where does it start from, and what you think horning is.
Yes.
Right? So in the comment section, utilize it, and we want to start to have this nice flow.
Yes.
Yes, so Sherry already jumped off the
Yes.
blocks and told us that.
And Sherry said to say if a man catches woman horning, catch her woman horning, sir. Right, what I'm saying? Wrong
Catch
thing.
his woman.
Yeah, if the woman catch the man horning her,
Yeah.
right? Tell us how it is they catch the man. Yes, because they pass her because they witness somebody horning, right? And okay, so
that's Wendy's
when he
perspective.
said his horn is also from texting.
Big up Marcus.
Yes, Marcus, I'm glad to see you on the live. We're talking about a horn, it's a horn. Now, you know how long this guy tell me he coming on a live. Right, so he here. So Marcus, tell us what you think horning is.
Right, so again, we want to get the perspective of the Burn Team members, people on the page coming on the live.
Yes.
We want to get your perspective on what is a horn to you, what is horning to you,
Yes.
and where does that action start.
Yes.
Right, so some people might say sexual, some people might say, as Wendy has said, texting.
Yes. Now, explain some more, Wendy, about the texting, because you might text somebody and just say good morning normal, eh? So what does the texting involve
Yes.
in order for it to be considered a horn?
Right.
Yeah?
Because that would open a can of worms, because I think everybody does have somebody that's text.
Yeah, I mean, it's
You know?
some people that text,
I
or
think-
lots of people, right? So, right, Sherry is saying when pictures are exchanging on the phone. But what type of pictures?
Sherry, we need to get this, is getting to the
Yes, we need to get to the
Nitty-gritty.
nitty-gritty.
right. I can send you a picture of a flower.
Yeah, so sending pictures, you can send a pictures.
Right.
He said flowers. Yeah, he into the whole flowers and he, you know, yes,
Excellent.
nude, yes,
Right.
nude pictures.
We now get into some, getting somewhere.
Yes.
Right. So, hey.
So yes, Kyla, let us hear you when you are not satisfied in the relationship. So what are you doing when you're not satisfied?
Honey. Yeah, big up Kimberly Alexander on the live. Want to send some hearts, you know, for new people on the blog.
Yes,
This
yes,
is
yes.
Burn Team. If you're not aware, basic unconventional raw nutrition, and we are dealing with mental health, physical health, emotional health.
Yes.
So we're giving the holistic view, and today is a horn is a horn. And what is your view on where the horn starts and where the horn ends, and what you would consider horning? Straight.
Right. So when he's talking about she catch the man sending nude to other women.
Fellas,
Right.
these are them coming heavy.
Marcus is saying I will see horning starts from the roots from a relationship. Right?
Alright. So again, we're hearing different opinions and we are hearing different perspectives. So Wendy said she caught the guy,
Yes.
you know, sending nude pictures
To
to a
other-
girl, you know. So I think that is that would be considered going on the part of unfaithfulness,
Yes.
right? And but there are some people that would say it is not a horn until certain things transpire. Because I know guys, you know, would say, yes, I was wrong to to send the pictures. Yes, I was wrong to text the young lady, but I did not do anything more than that. So you know,
Alright.
and you say,
So,
big up Andy.
yes.
Blackburn.
He said, go take it on with the horn. Right? So, a lot of people, you know, training a horn is so if you take it on, right? Sherry is saying say you know where your man or woman is and decide to show up and just catch them in the act. So what if they show up and the man ain't doing anything or the woman not doing anything? Like something, you know? Now if it is you know your man see going elsewhere and now he went and tell you he's going somewhere to meet a woman to be, you know, having sexual relations with this woman and tell you exactly where he's going. Now that will not make any sense. At least to me it will make sense. Right?
So
unless you tail in the man and you have a whole investigative squad.
you all women that's investigating, or they have a whole CSI. When all they looking to investigate, or just go on Facebook and troll and stalk. Right? yeah, stalk. Stalk and troll. Right? So, some of the perspectives we're hearing, because the topic is a horn is a horn.
Yes.
And they say, don't take it on.
Yes.
Sherry is bringing up scenarios in which the horn was found out.
Yes.
Right? And when you're saying she caught, you know, the gentleman sending nude pictures. Yes?
Alright, so when you're saying true, the texting, I got to realize that while I on work, it have another woman sleeping with her. So some people go over the limit with a normal convo when texting.
And when we speaking about relationships, you know, we cover different types of relationships.
Yes.
We talk about soulmate in one of our lives prior. Yes? Andy jump out. So here what Andy saying.
So Andy's saying, to be honest, man is man, okay? We don't horn. So Andy, please tell us what it is you all do.
We take a borrow where Andy way.
Tell us what it is you all do. If it is you all do not horn.
And
what
if
do
we
you
don't hold
call
and
it?
we just take a borrow, send some hearts in the comments section.
Well, yes, the
Let it take place. Right. And getting back to the reality, women, all they have it hard this evening,
I realize
this
that.
morning, and whenever they look at this life. Right? So Andy is saying, hey, man is man. Right? And that is some of what Trini slang again showing up in the situation.
I realize that.
So, another perspective, I will play devil's advocate because I like to play devil's advocate. We spoke about in soul, when we talk about soulmate, about that sexual energy that is rooted very, very deeply, right? And when you have Marcus again.
Alright, so Marcus is saying if a man or woman because of misunderstanding, lack of communication, etc.
Marcus, yay.
Now Marcus is now say, come like he's saying, listen, really and truly man this one.
wait, woman want to.
Well, I'm not wondering if it is, you know, if you're on the same page with the other fellas, yes? So yes, both men and women hold, right?
So
yes.
Getting back to
the sexual
right, the sexual energy, right? Remember, as we discussed before, let's say you have a very holistic relationship. You know, the woman is doing what she's supposed to do. You know, she handling she business.
Right.
The man handling his business too.
Right.
And the temptation, because we tend not to talk about that.
Right.
You know, before the live started, I was harassing Chica, and I was telling Chica, but Chica, if a man see you walking down the road, he wouldn't want, you know, because temptation is a thing that sometimes we give in to, whether we be man or woman. So the message board start, fellas out there, boy. I like them boys.
So when you saying horn is horn only if you take it on me, like you saying here, well, forget about it. Trevor G, we talking about a horn is a horn, right? Explain that there to
Trevor G. So right now, presently, big up Trevor G. You all can check out Trevor G's live. You know, he's a good musician. So feel free, Trevor, to drop your link in the comment section where they could take it in. Independence music, yeah? So, we're talking about a horn is a horn. And really and truly, what you consider horning, right? What you consider, you know, where the horn start. Does it start in the bedroom or does it start with communication? So we want your perspective on that straight up.
Yes. So let us go on to Andy. Andy saying man was born to protect the woman. Right? And he said he's going to love more than one woman.
And you know what? And the interesting thing about it is he being honest.
Yeah.
Right? And remember yesterday I said, ladies, you might hear the guys start to talk. And when we talk, you mightn't like it, you might move it to hush.
Right.
The message board again,
yeah,
light up.
Kimberly Alexander. Good, long boy. Honing starts from simple conversation, where individuals have a connection that forms outside of your committed relationship.
God.
Also, what you are attracted or have feeling or even thinking about that person is cheating, whether it's mentally or physically.
This is who?
This is Kimberly Alexander.
Big up Kimberly Alexander. Kimberly girl, well, all are we this on? Because Kimberly sent some hearts there, Kimberly, everybody. Right? Because what Kimberly is saying is it could start in the mind.
Yeah.
It could start with our thought pattern.
Mm-hmm.
It could start with a text.
Yeah.
It could start with, hey, you're just going and have a little drink. And all you're talking and listening.
Yeah.
And then it could lead to. So if we're going down the roads of, it could lead to. And I mean, remember guys, temptation.
Yeah.
Because, oh Lord, big up.
Somebody asking what Trevor G doing here, but he might ask you the same thing.
Hey, Trevor G is my soul there. Right? So, Trevor G, I have known Trevor G for a while. Trevor G is my boy. Big up Trevor G on the inside. A little rough him up.
I don't know how to pronounce, but Verna, I guess
Verna,
it's Verna, right?
yeah.
So Verna, you tell us because you say on story 101.
I love it.
So Verna, you give us your views on horn.
I'm still waiting on Trevor G. Trevor, you had to tell me what is horning for you and where does it start in your book. And Kimberly really.
Yeah, she really touched on some very important things there.
Yes. Emotional.
Verna saying emotional infidelity. And yes, during our discussions from since Friday night into now, we did speak on emotional aspect of relationship because plenty of times people focus on the sexual part of it and not, you know, not the emotional part, and that emotional part is very important as well.
So I wanna, as we on the topic, and I see Kimberly gave us that long definition that covered a lot. What are the views of people on the live now after hearing that what Kimberly expressed, that even if you think it, so I'm saying in a committed relationship, the guy out working construction with the boys and a nice young lady pass temptation, when they look at, right? She passed all here. And my boy had a little bad thought. Now he's man. As Andy say, a man is a man. He had a bad thought. He acknowledged he had a bad thought. But he did not pursue anything further. That is horny.
No, I wouldn't consider that horny. They may be just appreciating the fact that the woman is looking good or the man is looking good. So now, Tyler, have a question.
Oh, good question.
Tyler say, is sex important in a relationship?
Read.
Yes.
Read. Read. Woo. She can't answer that question.
Alright, people. So, yes, sex is important in a relationship, right? We're not going to say no, it isn't important, right? And that is why we speak about the communication, because it has some persons, whether it's male or female, it could go both ways. It might have one that loves sex more than the other, right? But as Lion said in previous lives, right, that is the way that we, make new offspring by, through sex. So it's a very powerful thing. And if there's no sex and some people have, to have couples who want to try to have children, they need to have sex in order to do so, right? So sex is important. Sex is for, pleasure. So it is important.
The message board is on heat again. Verna.
Right. She said, OMG, I think it starts in the mind, as Kimberly said.
Yes.
Then it transfers to the infidelity, emotional infidelity that is, and it then wants to be expressed in the body.
Chica.
Right? I I know that means for you.
I mean,
yes,
I mean, on a real, you know, temptation pass.
Okay. So Sherry, why do fellas cover for their partner when they know doing wrong to their wife and girlfriend when she is loyal? Why don't they correct them? Now earlier on, Annie said, man is man. Right? So as we know in our culture, let's be real, right? Them men, the men just tell the men, hey, you're all get through. Right? He's a girl's man, he's a ladies man. They don't ever at no point in time carry them. They might say, hey, I could get a little something too inside there. That is how the men will move. So it have no correcting nobody.
Correct.
Right? It have nobody going to say, hey, you know that woman. Well, it might have someone say, you know what, be careful when you're going out there. You don't want to carry back no STD or anything like that. Right? So now, let's Verna. No, I don't mind a man looking at another woman. Women are beautiful, but it is if he is aware of what he feels and control what he feels. Very correct. Trevor, Dreber, look at this now. Our people generally practice polygamy and polygamy as a heritage, economic warfare, and family community power. Papa, yo.
Yeah, man.
Africans, Indians, Native Americans, etc. Our peoples knew nothing of honing because we into purity generally. When we came to the West, somehow the oppressors or slave drivers injected us differently, and we still having that effects apparently. So now we have honing, right? And Bernard Trevor is saying that he loves you.
Right, so in the straight and the narrow,
I need to take a sip for that one.
Trevor, big up yourself. I always like Trevor vibes, you know, in the sense of the direction he would take the conversation. And the direction which Trevor very eloquently wrote with all kind of command thing, right, is that our belief system, hold on. We want to deal with Trevor because it's a big broad thing, right? Our belief system that we currently believe was placed upon us. Right? We were, our slaves were, our ancestors were slaves, and they were brought to this island. And the masters, this is what Trevor J is reiterating, gave us our own social programming. So what we believe now is based upon what was handed down through the generations all the way back to when our ancestors came as slaves. This is Trevor G's take, so we respect everybody's views, right? We're not here to condemn and we're not here to say who point is better than who. Right? So what he's saying, your belief system is based upon what has been handed down to us generation after generation, all the way up to when our forefathers came here as slaves. And he's saying the masters is what gave us our religion. He's saying it's the masters that gave us our belief system. He's saying it's the masters that have us thinking the way we are thinking. Very, very large topic that we should go into.
I didn't think I should put that one though.
Yeah,
our own history and everything up inside of it.
Yeah. So
Sherry, so what if they with their partner sister and he calling her?
Sherry?
Right? That is Sherry question. Now Sherry,
but where you get?
Now Sherry is speaking what really does happen in real life, eh? Right? There's bold and beautiful, young and restless kind of thing that is take place. Right? And we do have men, right? Good evening, Giselle. Girl, you have to read the comments to see what you miss exactly.
Giselle, real thing, miss. Yeah? So she is really speaking about real life circumstances.
Yes, real life.
Right?
Real life.
But I think it really stems as well from the temptation, even if it's the sister or a stranger or someone who just comes out of nowhere, or a friend from school or an old, mate, right? Or even an ex. People, old fire stick half the time. Anyhow, so it's really the temptation, right? Maybe that person tries to give the guy bait or the other way around. Maybe Well, light it up.
Yes, I have plenty things coming
Go
up.
to the message board.
Right. Verna is saying, Trevor G,
Wow.
you're making me weak here. Polygamy is not a problem as long as the first wife is all for it. If not rolling pin, you get it. Right? And that is true in the cultures, really and truly the wife, she approves then of allowing the man to have another wife or another partner to work along.
So
right?
the tradition and boy, go to the message.
Right? And Marcus is saying 90% of the time woman first take is first to one because they find alright, that's not.
Right?
To take the time to hear what the man has to say because we as man doesn't get the time to give our views in an argument. And when this type of disaster happens in a relationship, a man becomes unhappy in the relationship, then you will find he's going out there and find the quality that he's looking for. But he still doesn't want to leave his woman. He will play his hand both ways.
Very, very honest. And the guys, and I told you all ladies yesterday, the guys will be speaking. And I hope you all listen, and I hope you all can understand and take what the guys say. Because it makes no sense. We get together and we share our views and it doesn't edify us.
Right.
Yes?
We have Kimberly speaking about how important sex is, right? She said sex is important because it relaxes and reconnects your emotional state of mind in a relationship. Because most times it helps you have that relationship with your significant other. Sex is a major part of your foundation in a relationship. Then we have Verna. Look, I'm going back to study. Nice. Right, so Andel invited Verna to the live actually. So Andel, big up for inviting Verna. Alright, then we have Marcus again saying likewise, a woman, if she is unhappy in her relationship, she will leave and go with someone else and some will stay in the relationship and hold them man. Right, and then he goes on again, really and truly temptation has nothing to do with it between you and I. It's a 50-50% where temptation is concerned. Woo! Sherry.
Yes, it's a very very hot.
Yes. At a point
board.
in time, everyone holds, so there's no stopping that. We are all humans. And then Kimberly said you can be very much in love with your husband, but still cheat. In other words, you can still hold.
So, we liking the information we getting. And I like how the ladies being honest and the guys being honest because if all of it come like always angel and it set for it. Yeah? So, polygamy. Guys, when you feel Trini women could go through that polygamy? Chica, polygamy.
No. Because now it has some women that might be depends on the way that they were brought up. Right? Depends on the environment, depends on if they decide to be open and say, you know what, maybe I can, try this. Not all women want that.
Yes, Trevor, we are descendants of kings, you know that. But speaking about from this dispensation, because they were under the slave master, they were able to enforce their way of social programming. Julie.
So Julie said there's a difference between how a man treats to how a woman does.
Julie, give us the example.
Yes, tell us what's the difference in the home that takes place.
So woman does one better?
Yes. I don't know if it's that she was saying.
Julie, give me the definition of how a woman does one as opposed to a man. And yes, Trevor, as you rightfully say, we are descendants of kings. So yes, we're not saying no to that. Right?
So Nali, tell us what you say, no to the exactly.
Big up Sonali Bartholomew straight out. Brand ambassador of Basic and Conventional Raw Nutrition. We are the topic of Ahon is Ahon. Julie is what saying it depends.
Yeah, so
right?
Julie, you need to explain to us the different depends and all of these different things in that.
So to the new people, if you're looking at this on Facebook, like the page and share the page. If you are looking at us on YouTube, remember to subscribe. The topic is a horn is a horn.
Yes.
Message board.
So, Kyle is saying I don't believe in horning because once everything going well in the relationship, there is no need to, but it still happens even in a marriage. Right? So, Kyle is saying she don't believe in it, right? Especially once everything going good.
Julie say
Right?
women horn better than men.
Right?
Big up Julie for the honesty. We were speaking about coming back from training this morning.
Yes.
You know, the squad was rolling. I ain't seen Junior, but big up Junior, right? Giselle is here.
Yes.
Chica was present, and we were saying that women can horn better than men.
I wasn't saying anything. I was just listening. In on
We
the
was talking
conversation.
about it, and Julie has now confirmed that women horn better. Julie, let me see some hearts if women just do it the correct way. Men just make mistakes, right? So we don't believe that polygamy will ever come to pass into that.
No, but it happens. I know persons, personally who have, they have more than one wife.
Open
But of
relationships?
course, no, more than one
Wife, okay.
right? So it happens, and as I said, it depends on your background. It depends on what it is you choose to believe in, right? So as Trevor G, spoke earlier about it, it means that he might say, okay, I believe now the slave masters, and they change what my original being then. And he might say, you know what, I don't want to go according to the slave masters. I don't want to be indoctrinated into what was placed upon us.
Okay.
Right? So it will have persons who would be open to what would have been the original traditions of their ancestors.
And the original traditions that we have descended from would be that style.
Yes.
And because we are now westernized, the social understanding of it is different. I think Muslims have that that
And
arrangement.
That's some
Some Muslims, and then the head wife must give permission and approve.
Yeah, she must approve her because they'll be living together.
Yeah.
And they want to be able to live in harmony. Of
Yeah.
course, everything wouldn't be nice all the time,
Right.
but you want to, live in harmony. Alright, Sherry, yes, mommy duty course, that's very important.
Wow, look at the board.
Right, Marcus is saying, what I want woman in this life to answer is when you have a good man, you mess up. And if become most women use their favorites, right? Good man is hard to find, and they do not want no man in their life. They prefer single. Why do most women say that, knowing some of them are the fault in relationships? Now, Marcus, not all women take blame. Right? They will not say that they are the reason for anything happening in a relationship, right?
Big up Miss Halls on the live and all the new people. Seeing them jumping out.
Right? Kimberly is saying it's all about self-control and being focused. Because I'm not going to lie, I have my moments where I may have the feeling too, or think about it because my husband was offshore and we have not seen each other in months. The thing is, horning or letting the temptation allow you to act is totally your choice. It's always your choice. Very good, Kimberly. Thanks for your honesty. Right? She also said some women have a beautiful home with everything likewise. Amen. But still horn, it's because it was, yes, it is always the person's choice. It doesn't matter what the person say. If the man get them vexed, if the woman get them vexed, so whatever it is, some disagreement, and they say, well, it's had a temptation, it is still a personal choice.
And remember I said yesterday, for all who was on the live yesterday, that if a guy, don't ask why. I have heard a lot of females, they say, Moira, so why the man will go and do this when it is he have a good woman? Because he chooses to. It's hard, eh?
Yeah.
That's what it is, right? Sometimes we might beat around the bush and say, trouble in the relationship, she not understanding, or he, or, we blame. And what people do a lot is blame others for the choices they make to justify what they're doing. Right? So, guys, girls, as Miss Kimberly Alexander said, It is based on choice. The problem is choice. It has always been. From the beginning of time, the problem is always choice. Now, as Trevor said, from his angle, it is a social thing. So, where he might not even believe that that should be an issue, remember now what Chika views and the woman you're going at views, you have to take that into consideration.
Yes.
And then she would understand your mindset, and then she would make the decision choice again. She would choose to say, well, all right, I would try to adhere or listen to your view, but this is mine. Right? And then we talk about the wavelength. And if you all are not on the same wavelength, well.
Right? And the other thing too is that sometimes men may not be upfront, or women may not be upfront. Right? And let us think about reality. Let's be real.
True.
There are more women than men.
I thought it was one man to every woman in the planet and would be equal
Right.
and everybody take her.
No, but in truth and in fact, anytime we look at the statistics, it have a certain place where there are more women than men, for whatever reason.
So how that
Right.
going and correlate
I can't say that right now. Truly, as for a woman, she only cheats if the man seems to be disconnected from the relationship. Because a woman tries until she can't anymore. A woman cheats with her heart. Because we have to be emotionally connected before she has sex with another man.
I know plenty girls that don't need
And
to be
once
emotionally sex.
that happens, she out.
Madness, Julie. Total
Oh, gosh.
madness.
Everybody may cheat for a different reason, but it don't bound to be emotional. It's just like,
I know ladies that doing the thing, not about the heart. It's about the physical, right? They want to express themselves. They choose to go out there and run the road. Because I am sure every man, so you are saying every man you had sex with, you love them. That is not the case across the world.
no, it isn't.
So,
And you don't need
It's a
to
personal.
love someone to actually have
Sex with them.
Right? So always please people remember that you don't need to love someone to have sex with them. And to have some people that is just their belief, I will only have sex with someone that I love.
Yes.
But it doesn't go for everybody.
no.
Right?
And this world, I mean, as we see how the world is changing, and there are all kind of different sexual vibrations now. There are different communities,
Yes.
right? And everybody expressing their sexuality in different ways. So it's gone now are the days of the old school. This fall from real old school tradition. But now the world has changed. Yeah?
Then I'm saying to us,
Yeah, buddy, yeah? Bless it. Right? Because it have some kind of people out there, they just have sex with people.
just for having
Just
sex.
for having sex sake. They don't need any
It don't
emotional.
want to be money, it don't want to be emotional. All they want is a whole new sexual experience.
And that's what it is. And people are waking up now to this type of lifestyle. I think sexuality now is a lifestyle. You could put
Yeah.
yourself in a category. You like this type of sex, you know, you're gay, you know, it have different sexualities that are appearing now. That was here all the time.
Yes.
But now it's no longer taboo. So it's out of the closet.
Mm-hmm.
And the world now is seeing a whole new vibration of sexuality and what relationship is. It have open relationship. It have, you know, so different styles are appearing now in this world.
Yeah, so make sure that when you are entering in relationships, that you be honest. You let the person know from the start, you know, this is what it is I want. And they will have to be able to say what it is they want, and then you make the decision whether it is that's what you want or that is not what it is you want. And if you don't want it, do not stay and say, well, I will change the person. I really don't do that. Then you're going to hurt yourself instead, and then you're going to be an emotional wreck, and then you're going to say, nah, you're going through this, and then you end up wanting. So if it is a no from the beginning, right? You don't want that type of relationship, say. Don't go in thinking, well, this man or this woman wants to spend a life with me, or they want to make it official as they say, or whatever it is. Make sure that you all are on the same page when it comes to what type of relationship you are having, whether it's sexual, emotional, or whatever it is.
Straight to the message board.
So Diana says some of them just doing it just so. And them don't think, but I have to love someone before I have sex with Diana is saying she must love someone before she has sex with them. Right? Julie is saying the outer appearance fools both men and women. Grass looks greener on the other side. Right?
Trevor.
We have Trevor. I know men who will think porn is a thing. They feel we all can share each other freely. I remember seeing a movie on that too. People have all kind of different values out there. Swapping spouses, all kind of things. So yes, that's swinging. It have people who swing, and earlier on, Trevor G mentioned the purity in the polygamy types of relationships, right? So in terms of that purity, I mean, it will be persons who agreed to have that type of relationship and they're not swinging. Right? So that kind of is like a different form. You know that they're really forming that community, because just sometime last year, earlier this year, I would have shared with this man, he had, I think like 79 or 80 wives in Africa, right? And what they did, they had a farm, and everybody and all the children were able to go to university and all of that. So they had their own community thing going on. Now, when it is you want to have the polygamy and the polygamy relationships, make sure that you have the money or the resources to have that type of relationship. Then it don't make no sense.
So
I'm just saying.
So I'm being devil's advocate now, and Chika touch on money. You know me,
Or
Trevor.
resources.
Or resources,
Right.
you know me. I reach out.
Resources,
I reach
please.
out.
Please take
There was a documentary done on urban. We're talking about right New York, and couples coming together because they don't have anyone. You understand? And when they combine their salaries, they realize that they could do more for each other together than separate. You understand? So again, people, I think if somebody is upfront with the style of life they want to live, the person would either be able to say yay or nay, getting involved in it. And if that is your vibration, you would find somebody who would meet you on that vibration. So Trevor, big up yourself, right? You will find somebody who will meet you because you're vibrating like that already. People remember this. Remember this. There is no wrong or right answer. If Trevor, if that is your vibration, you're vibrating on that frequency, you will pick up somebody who vibrating on that frequency. Trust me.
So John is saying, good evening. Yes, good evening, John. Right? The only thing that must be swinging in what the good Lord bless me with. Alright, John.
Big up yourself. To each their own order.
Alright, Marcus is saying, but nowadays they hardly hearing about one because 75% of the population looks forward to an open relationship. And both man and woman telling you point blank that if we have to have something that can be open. Right? So what Marcus is really saying that now the majority of the population wants to be in open relationships. No strings attached, basically.
Right, so open now, fellas. We want to remain serious. If you're embarking on an open relationship, be very mindful of the people you're getting involved with. Because STDs is a real thing.
A very real thing.
Like we forget, since COVID, I'm a pada. Bacchus have a pada, boy. If you see the band for COVID, he playing, he sanitizing, he masking down, he doing everything, eh? But before COVID, the kind of bad girl he was around, no condom. You understand what I mean? And now COVID. So people, let me be real, fellas. If you're getting involved in an open relationship, whether it be 2 or 3 or whoever amount, fellas, I hope they tested, right? I hope they tested every 3 months. I hope you're using protection, because all I hearing right now, you see, we call love no cure STDs.
No, it doesn't.
So all the ladies who still in pandemonium, who still in Pandora box, who still on the white picket fence, the man could love you, she could love you, he could love you. But STDs is a real thing.
Yes.
So if you're entering into open relationship, let me tell you, that open relationship, they all are open. That might be 2, young ladies or 2 males that ride it because if it's more than that, you're open to STD. So when I tell people, when I tell them about open relationship, you're open to STDs. Now let's say you have one person that you're in relations with, whether you're using condom or not, that's your business, right? Your risk for STDs is limited. Wait. I want talking, Chica. I want talking. Now, when you open the door, your risk management has to be on check because if you put a next person in that mix, you have to protect the person you're with and yourself. You have to ensure that that person come in clean. When I say clean, both all you're going to take the test, or you're making sure right thing because you're now opening. When people say open relationship, remember now you're opening yourself to risk. Message board.
Yes.
She can't find Chica.
Yes.
I come out there and be real.
John is saying open means open to bacchanal, right? Open to diseases and open to stress.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because one is so much. But Trinity man, fellas, put some heart in the comments. Trinity man, you really have to have your good head, no? Because you could lose your good head.
Right?
Yeah.
So John is agreeing with me.
Straight out, man.
I believe Trevor G, he dropped his link to his YouTube channel.
Yeah, Trevor, big up yourself, man. Local music.
John is he just supporting you right now.
No, well, I mean, the
And
real.
Julie is saying, I ain't one. She rather stay single.
And that, Julie, we got talk here because you know I ain't dealing with that. Julie, let me talk. You know,
And now
it's my
remember, everything is a choice. If a woman or a man chooses to stay single, that is a choice.
Right, you want to say?
Right? If it is a decide now, we know the whole social structure of the world is changing, and as we were discussing, women bash men so much. So recently I would have seen a post on Facebook with this toy, dildo, right? And the movement, it was fast. So the guys were commenting saying, but how it is you all want us to perform like the machine?
Hey, we always fellas, I know fellas, the waistline guys. Julie,
Hello.
fellas
So
who
they
are
just-
waist, we could move like that.
Right? So I
It's
just
Trini.
say that is hard.
If they have no machine that could move like a Trini man waist, fellas light up the hearts.
Hey, it was Trini man speaking. Some Trini man.
I ain't
speaking.
Trini man. No toy could outwine no Trini man who born and grow and had the waist. Let me get things serious.
So,
Yes, Julie, no. I know you might be making, now please, ladies or males, if you all say, they want to remain single for the rest of your life, that is a real long time, right? And don't make the decision based on because you're having bad relationships and you want to give up. Now, there are nuns and priests that...
they are fine. That is a personal
Right.
choice. If it is a journey.
But what I'm saying is that don't make the decision
Based on
past, because if all our we had some kind of crazy people in real life, all our we had some people we wish we didn't meet. I have some people I wish I didn't meet. You understand? But the reality of it is we can't, the future person or persons you're coming into contact with, we can't judge them on our past situations. Otherwise you might miss out on a good person, Julie. You might miss out on somebody who treating you good and right, so don't blame. Right? If it is, really, be rested. Julie, here what I say. If you're making a decision because you had some pain, do not make that decision like that. If you want to be a nun and you can come and, you know what I mean, or you want, like the road you're traveling, that different. But I don't use a nun, Yeah? Right. So, message board.
No, that's it. Everybody just, they locked on, they tuned
Yeah.
in.
Good.
And they're listening to the discussion. Right? You see what they kind of saying is happen? Now she wondering if you are the man.
Right, now, as we stated, you're looking for trouble, right? Guys, straight up. No, remember, men and women, we have gone through painful relationships, we have gone through broken relationships, right? And we cannot base everything or every decision from henceforth on the stresses that we have received. So people in the comment section, I want to know now, since we kind of understand what is owning, where it starts from, what are some of the things that we could change? Chika, male and female, what are some of the things we could change to kind of be more faithful in the relationship if it is really a regular relationship? And fellas who into open relationships, I want to hear how you guys go about it. You know, so let me hear from the people. You know what I mean? I know everybody listening and locked that we're talking about horny.
Yes.
Right?
So Julie is asking, what do men look for? So, Lion, what do men look? But she's asking, well, I'm not a man. You are the man.
What I would say to young ladies and women approaching men in 2020, I think you need to get to know the man first. Because I might say I'm looking for a red man because I like red man. I might be saying I'm looking for somebody who is emotionally stable. I might be looking for someone who is serious about goals, like they have goals in their life and they want to achieve certain things that might be stimulating to me. People who are willing to open up and explore themselves and learn more about themselves and grow. But I me. So you know, when you're going about looking at that guy, get to know the guy first. That goes for everybody. Get to know the girl, get to know the guy, and then you would have a kind of understanding of what they want, what they're looking for, what is the goals, if it's short term, long term, if they want a long term female relationship, if they only want a short term. Chika?
Yes.
So what do you would say, you know, that, because we heard in the topic, she go, oh, don't laugh. And I know you,
So fellas, you have ladies asking what men were looking for. So John said, I know you have to have physical attractiveness. Yes. We spoke about that. There must be physically attractive, right? Honesty, stability financially and emotionally. Right? And good health. Right? This is John.
Remember my doctor.
Right? Good health. And health will include physical, mental, emotional. All that is part of health.
Marcus.
Right, women? Women need to stop arguing on the tip top of your voice. And give the man time to say what he needs to say. And to contribute towards the argument. Because when couples argue, it's automatically a debate. Marcus, like you had an experience with a woman,
Well, I have it too, boy. So, I agree with Marcus. Straight. No. Guys, you know, you can't win a woman in an argument. When you go up on the high pitch and then you're done. What I think this be the problem is we shouldn't argue. We shouldn't argue because argument, the word argument is that we're not vibrating on the same level. So if you angry about something, you need to cool down first. And if she on top of the cloud, she need to come down from the cloud. So if it means that you had to postpone the discussion until she calm down, because anytime you have that argument, when everybody in that high spirit, it going on end real bad. You know what I mean? So what I think you should do is, you had to come down in order to communicate. You see, you had to connect. Right? If it have no connectivity, you can't communicate, John. Right? So if we connect, we can't communicate. So if I call in John on the phone and I dial John's number and he answer, we ain't connect. Right? So the thing is, if we on high spirits, we cannot connect, we could only argue. And I think that is the problem with some of us when we trying to manage conflict, right? we need to come down off the high horse. Message boarded, it running with.
Truly, you say there are a lot of sheep, well, I got a sheep, sorry, in wolf clothing, a lot of pretenders, both men and women. So everybody making sure they're very careful and they're making sure they say it's both men and women. Thank you very much, Trudy, because they know lion here, if it is what they say it's man,
a biting.
He running out.
A biting hand. Right? Ladies, fellas, are a little vexed, man. Ladies, being a male, right? Hold out on the sex. You see a wolf in sheep clothing, he have a goal. Right? A wolf, a hunter, right? A wolf is a predator, and a predator have a goal. Right? A predator hunting for a specific purpose. Right? And if it is a guy that you're suspicious of, hold out on that part of the relationship for a little while.
What is a little while?
Right? No. Chica, no, I will start it. Chica started to jump out.
What is a little
right?
while? Boy.
Oh yeah, well I'm done. Little while. Listen. Right. Here what we doing? We running. Hold out on the sex. Right? For a while. And I talking 6 months to start. Right? Reason being, that is how guys does hunt. A guy will give himself a timeline to score. Again, only the juice. But not the high juice, again, the low juice. Right? A guy will give himself a particular timeline. Because he does not care about, if he's a wolf in sheep clothing, right? And he doesn't care about, knowing the young lady. Getting to know the, that kind of thing. I don't know why she can't shake it.
But I listening. Right? I gave you the answer 6 months
right?
to start.
Right? You would see the behavior change. Right? Because then he will be pushing to go to the next level when he don't even know you as yet. Right? So you have to safeguard yourself against that. You kind of hold out. Fellas do the same thing, Because there's some ladies, they're blood warm. They now meet you. We now talk in a little lounge. And you're hot. Just so you want to reach by the rasta. You know, babe?
Right. That's the saying, we live in a dog-eat-dog world. It's either you eat or be eaten.
Right, and this world is a dark world, and we must understand that. But because we in a dark world, that does not mean it don't have light. Right? It doesn't mean you don't have good people. And as I spoke to Trevor, right, understand that once you put in out a good vibration and you have good for that person coming to you, whether it be, hey, I want to, we say upgrade you and meet you one way. If you and I is not to have a relationship after a year, I could walk away saying I add something good to you. And I think that is our problem, right? Ladies, we have a white picket fence mentality, right? If a gentleman is in your life, if the relationship lasts 2 months, 2 years, 20 years, if you guys part ways, you should be able to say that that guy put something good in me. The relationship we had, right? He left a good energy in me. Right? And I think that is the problem with you. Every time you hear a breakup, it's because it's something bad. Yeah?
Alright. So you say, what do you call a man that tells you about his future, seems to be interested in you, but he's afraid to make more, but communication and understanding is best?
So what do you say to a man who sees? She carry on that.
Sure, I don't know, what do you call a man? So now I have some men, as we say, both men and women experience things in life that they may not even want to go into another relationship. And they are just being very cautious. Right? Some may even decide, you know what, I don't want to get married because of my past experiences, and they have these trust issues. So it may not necessarily mean that they don't want to get married, right? And it have some that don't want to get married, but they don't mind staying in a committed relationship, right? definitely take note. Alright? Yes?
As I said before, a good Trinidad waist. There's no comparison to the bushy they can make. Right? So people, if you're looking at this on YouTube,
Don't forget to
subscribe. Yeah. And if you're looking at it on Facebook, remember to like and share. The topic is a horn is a horn. People have really been given their information, their point of view,
yes.
and we touched on different scenarios. We touched on the way the world is going now, polygamy, and the ratio of men to women, and why men do this, why women do that. So as we entered into this scenario, you see it down. Big up, moms. Right? So, ladies, gentlemen, the topic is horning,
Yes.
being unfaithful.
Mm-hmm.
So what about forgiveness? Ladies and guys on the live, I know we have all been through relationships, and I don't think a man here does not have to forgive, right? And as one of the persons on the live said, it could start in the mind,
Yes.
right? They don't have to go all the way to the end.
No.
Maybe text pass. I know another person said that nude pictures were sent,
Yes.
right? So ladies, fellas, we are in this situation where forgiveness, what part forgiveness plays? Because I have not heard in any of your relationships here about something happening and
Yes.
you all forgave the person for the wrongs that was done. Because ladies, being honest with you, you leave one man today, it's our next man you have to go to tomorrow, unless you're going to a woman. Right? So whatever lessons you could learn with this gentleman, learn it. So that if you have to move on. Yeah?
Right. He's saying I forgive and move on because I need peace with myself. Not for him, but for myself. That's what Julie is saying. So now people is like, what do you do when you forgive someone? Right? Some people might say they forgive, but the trust, remember yesterday, we spoke about trust and when trust is broken. So some people, because when trust is broken, they choose that they don't want to go down that relationship, they don't want to continue it. They may forgive the person and move on for themselves and not exactly for the person. And it doesn't mean that they did not forgive them.
So Chika J is a social worker by profession. So people who have relationship issues and maybe you want to discuss something, matters of the heart maybe, off air, you can go to Basic Unconventional Raw Nutrition and we have a WhatsApp button and you could call and have that kind of personal conversation after the live if that is necessary because you want to have a solution.
Yes.
Yeah?
Alright, so
Julie getting on, John.
Julie saying after being cheated on for years, even kids being brought in the marriage. Yes, and sometimes it could be very challenging to continue a relationship like that because they want to protect, as they say, protect the children and that sort of thing. Right? So you really need to be careful with that. And John is saying that hard, yes, the mind will always be wandering. And he is correct. And that's because the trust is broken. So you'll always wonder if the person will do it again.
And that's the problem. Ladies, they had this poem in school, love is kind, love is this, love is love. Unless you're all in love, because that's
It's actually the Bible verse.
yeah, but what I'm
Love
saying,
is patient,
love is kind. Number point is, are you all guys in love? And I think the next live should be, what is love? If all I want to hear that, let me know in the comment section. Because a lot of people calling this word out.
Yes, true.
And all they don't know what the word means. Right?
John, you're not easy,
Right, John, but here what I say there. I have spoken because I always like to go to the elders. I have always found myself going to the ones who are in the 80s. My grandmother is 96, right? And I have always gone to the elders when coming to these kind of situations because I would have liked to know how granny them do this thing, boy. Like how them married for 50 years. You know, you're hearing these kind of marriages 40 something years. And the interesting thing about it is, what was told to me I didn't really like, you know. Because all these issues that we say we now having, they had that long time and laughing. Because the reality is choice.
Yes.
Granny would say, "Die my husband." If it had an next Monday, she had to try to know who I is. Because I ain't going nowhere. And the interesting thing about this is, I think that is the only mentality.
Yes.
Man too, eh? I think that is the only meant to stay with somebody. Because we could find a lot of ways to leave each other.
Yeah.
But up to now, I hear nobody say anything to stay.
True.
I have sat on this live for over an hour. And the information brought to us was only reasons to leave.
Yeah.
Only reasons for peace. Only reasons to go. But no one gave me a reason to stay. Right? So in life, people, if all now coming on this live, this is how we just be going so whole day because the discussion just be real acid, just be hot. Right? And when I look to my elders, and that is what is missing in our community. Yeah? When we look to the elders, and you hear the way they dealt with their situation, it might give us some insight into how to deal with it now.
Right. So Judy is saying that it's hard after because her heart doesn't want to be hurt again. So getting back in another relationship ain't going to be easy. She's also saying that now anyone that wants to be in a relationship with her meets some mother very early because she's has a very good judgment on guys coming around her.
The sad thing about it is that is show for everybody.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to tell you, see.
And not all the time the elders' judgment is right. They might have a bias, for whatever reason, and
They might be biased because I'm a Rasta.
Right?
They might be biased because I have locks. They might be biased because of all other things. You have to weigh that person yourself. You can't learn, you can't wait for somebody to weigh them for you. You're a spoiled child is what you is. Because mommy a day when it's time to go on the bed. Right? So though you don't bring mommy and daddy, when it is, you have to weigh that person. You have to use your brain. You have to watch the movements. You have to calculate them. You have to say if they're worthy of being around you or if you have children.
Yeah.
And for guys and girls who have kids, sometimes you're making a decision for the kids. Right? For the kids that you have. Eh? So now you might be a single fella already and you don't have no children. If you're a guy and you have kids, the person who in your life closest to you, you have to be mindful that hey, your daughter and your son or whoever, they need to have a relationship with this person. So now you 10 million times more careful. And the children might save us as soldiers because now we real careful. Which open, we checking that open. Because we don't want to expose our children to somebody who will be toxic to them. I might not even like the person too much. But because they are good, and sometimes we have to step back and say, hey, this person good for my children, right? Forget you. You know what I mean?
Yes, because the person just might be good for you alone and not for your children.
Put yourself on pause. Dress back and ask yourself, fellas who have children, ladies who have children, and you're getting involved with one person, one, right? Look to the side and ask, hey, this person good for my kids, right? Before you even ask yourself.
John wants to know what I staying for. Mohon, STD. Oh no, I like embarrassment. The reason for me staying has to be physical activities. Any contribution that is rarely found elsewhere. But me, I good. You play yourself all day. Right? And Julie is saying, yes I do, Lion. And I paid dearly because I didn't listen. So far, mommy never gets them wrong.
Well, again, that is perspective. Again, because at the end of the day, it would be choice.
Yeah.
it would be choice, right? And again, you really have to weigh and measure as well, because mommy not gonna be around. So, mommy not gonna be around forever. I had to learn how to make decisions, and not every minute, mommy, daddy, because there will come a time when they won't be here, and that's the grim reality. And then what you do then? So, learn. I listen to my elders, and it could be an auntie, it could be, because they have been around. But I ask them questions based upon how not to be jumping here. Listen, people here, you see the here, they are everywhere. At some point in time, you might have to kind of boxy yourself a little bit, because out here, easy. And mommy might say, I like this one. Me ain't check your blood yet. Yeah, what I'm telling you, the first test you have to fail a test in order to even start to talk to me before you even see mommy. Unless it's a right? So, before you even meet mommy, Julie, before you even meet daddy, before you even get into that kind of vibration, yeah, what I'm telling you, next thing, I like it. I ain't checked the blood yet. Be very careful. Message boy?
Yes. Everybody's a little quiet.
So, we thank you guys for all the information you have given to us. Yes, and I think the next live should be what is love?
Yes, what is love?
What love really is, the definition of love, and we're getting into the...
We're going to get down into the different types of love as well, because there are different types of love.
Yes.
And when it comes to love, you know, we use the word love very loosely.
Yes.
Right? Sometimes people just say, I love your girl, or I love your man.
Yeah.
And they don't, what does it really mean? They just say it. And a lot of times that's why we see where a lot of relationships, people, they may court one another for, let's say, 2, 3 years, or even 4, or even 9, 10. Right? They say that is, I can't remember what they call that, right? And then they decide that they're going to get married. Oh God, some people have very long relationships where they don't get married, right? And when it is they do get married now, and they live in the same house, where the person thinks strange, and they may have been good, getting along very, very fine.
And I have a friend from Junior Sec. He was with his girlfriend from since Junior Sec. They're talking about 15, 16 years. And as soon as they married, they was living together, everything normal. And as soon as they get married, they divorce.
Right? So I don't know what is the reason for that.
Blight.
Might have to even ask the persons. So what was different? And sometimes what happens too is when people get married, they say, well, I'm rich. I'm inside.
Yeah.
And some people can act for very long, and they will do certain things for a very long period of time, just to make sure they say they secure the person, or they have the person
in grip.
Yes, right? And then their behavior changes when they actually get into that lawful agreement. Alright? So now we're going to say, big up to all the couples who would have been married and lasted, very long
on the live,
right? So I know it's have somebody on the live here, they made up for me to call their name. Right? Yes, married for 29 years. Alright? It's have persons who are, I would have seen persons celebrating their 20th year anniversary as well. But now we don't really have that.
Yeah.
We have people that are married for 1 year, sometimes even 6 months. And that's the end of it. So where was really the love is stand up in front of the altar or in front of a priest and they say vows and all these different things. But why you all, leave each other?
The problem is choice.
Right?
Because in reality, I cannot control the actions of another person. And if that person's mind has decided to go another direction, then I remain under stress.
Yeah.
Right? So it doesn't matter if it's a priest, a pundit, a imam, wherever you all go to make those vows. Remember, it is a risk.
Yes.
It is a risk you're taking. Some people say an act of faith. But it's faith not in yourself, not faith in a higher power, but faith in another person. And that, my friends, is a very risky situation, because if that person decides, I don't want to be a part of this anymore, everything is over.
Yes, true.
Right? So,
Real
people,
talk.
real talk. If you're looking at it on YouTube, it is. Remember to.
Subscribe,
And if you're looking at it on Facebook,
like,
and share.
follow.
Right? So, yeah, why John, straight out. Right? So, fellas, the next live is going to be, what is love?
Yes.
Yeah?
That's the next live, people. Thank you, everyone. We appreciate your participation, and we know that you all look forward to these discussions. Right? It is very important because we are looking at our emotional health as well, not only physical. So yes, you all know, yes, we are a health and fitness brand. So when we say health, it's everything, right? Physical, emotional, mind, body, and soul. Always
Yeah,
remember
people.
that, right? It's a girl and a boy here, right? So as I said, don't forget to subscribe.
Straight?
Don't forget to like, share, follow. Right? We are also on Instagram
Yes.
at Burn81.
We will
Right,
put the link
ladies?
in the description.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can get a crop top,
Hey!
crochet. You can get a leggings. Alright? Yes, we
Yeah.
have tops as well. So just inbox us, check out the page. And it's allowed. Alright?
Alright, people. So it was a pleasure. The next thing we're doing is, what is love?
Yes.
Pick up everybody in Burn Team family. It's your boy Lion.
And they give trick or treat.
Oh, good! Back.
Alright, so before we go, Marcus, who does I say? You know what makes this worse in a relationship? There are a few things you see. Then he said, she said, them say. Lots of women fall for that, and emotions intend to kick in. And sometimes the man doesn't be on nothing really and truly, and get blamed wrongfully, just because the woman hears something from someone on the outside. Sometimes a woman will show rather in other woman's soup. Likewise, men too, and people need to stop listening to he say, she say. If you hear something, don't confront your significant other with an argument. Sit and work things out. Definitely. And second, the mindset that people have is, if you horn, I will horn you back. And that is where it all needs to stop. So we did have someone earlier talking about that. If the man horn me, why can't I horn him back? Right? Then I should do the same thing, but it's just going to be a cycle of the same thing, and it's not making anything better.
So true.
Yeah?
So true.
So that is not making any sense. That is like payback. Then, even if it is the person, whatever the reason was, right? Then they can't trust you either, because you went and do the same thing. So both of you all break one another's trust when it is you do something like that, you hold back, or whatever the case might be. So don't do it.
And that leads straight into the topic for next time.
Yes.
What is love?
What is love?
Because then those two people not in love. Because if she can do something and it pain my singular going on, I get an entanglement.
Hi people, so thank you, we really appreciate your participation this afternoon.
Fellas, if you get an entanglement and Baba say she going to entangle, you're going to go crazy.
Right, they say that our mind is can't take hold,
True.
right? So, I mean, it doesn't make sense. Whoever do it, it doesn't make sense going to do the same thing. Right? It don't make sense. That's just the whole bottom line of it.
When you get it the entanglement, untangle yourself and get back to the work at hand. Right? So our next live will be what is love, and it will tie into this topic, because then love, if love reigning in this relationship, I wouldn't really want to go to hurt your back. It's not do for do eye for an eye. Gone are the days of eye for an eye. Yes? So, it's your boy Lion.
And they get trick or treat.
We good, and we not stopping. Good.